Radical socialist Zohran Mamdani now could face deportation as Representative Andy Ogles has just sent a formal request to Attorney General Pam Bondi requesting him to be subject to denaturalization proceedings and deported. I've got a lot to share with you today. I'm going to go through that big news story today. We also have a former CBS reporter, Liz Collins, telling Tucker Carlson that CBS forced reporters to tone down anything related to white people when it came to George Floyd and the riots. Oh, you're going to love this. This is insane. Calling out fake news media is amazing. Also, Jill Biden's chief of staff, Anthony Bernal, who declined to testify before Congress. Remember, I did a video on the unelected president who was controlling the White House, the auto pen. Well, guess what? The GOP committee has now sent a formal subpoena by Congress forcing chief of staff, who is said to be the most powerful person in the Biden White House. They now have subpoenaed him to testify. I'm going to share that with you. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt just stunned America moments ago, exposing Obama and Biden when it comes to Iran. I'm going to share that clip with you too. But first, Zohran Mamdani just deleted this post on X. Check this out. So as you can see at the bottom of your screen, it says this post is unavailable. I actually shared this post in my last video where Zohran Mamdani, again, this is the radical socialist. He has the most communistic Bolshevik ideas. He wants to create public government-run grocery stores. That should tell you everything you need to know about this guy. He also posted this and then now has since deleted it, saying, "We don't need an investigation to know that the NYPD is racist, anti-queer, and a major threat to public safety. What we need is to defund the NYPD. But your deal with the mayor uses budget tricks to keep as many cops as possible on the beat. No to fake cuts. Defund the police." So apparently, you know, as we all know, the Democrats don't stand for anything. They don't have any leg to stand on. They have no conviction in their ideals. They have no strategy, nothing, no solutions whatsoever. But he's smart enough to realize that defunding the police was the absolute most atrocious idea that ever came out of the Democrat caucus leadership or what have you. And he deleted this post, right? So that should really tell you all you need to know. What's really scary, and I'm going to share you a quick clip of Eric Adams, what he calls Zohran Mamdani. What should really scare everybody is that all the Democrats are now jumping on the Mamdani train. Check this out. This is former President Bill Clinton who posted this. "Congratulations to Zohran Mamdani on your victory in yesterday's primary election and a well-run campaign. I'm wishing you much success in November and beyond as you work to bring New Yorkers together to tackle the city's challenges and shape a stronger, fairer future." You had AOC, Ilhan Omar, Ghetto Crockett, all the losers in the American electorate backing up this guy. Some people even calling him the next Obama. I mean, as if that's a good thing. Obama literally destroyed our country. The last 12 of 16 years were an abomination. But Bill Clinton, not once has he posted anything about Patty Marin's daughter being brutally unalived by criminal gangs, the atrociousness of Biden's regime, the auto pen, the cover-up of his mental cognition. Not once has he congratulated these amazing U.S. pilots of these B-2 bombers with their bunker busters. Not once has he ever celebrated anything that President Trump has done. You got people like Fetterman, at the very least, saying, hey, you know what? He's doing at least this right. Even reports now saying that some long-time CNN anti-Trumpsters are commending him, on that abysmal network, which should actually be taken off the air. Not once has Bill Clinton supported American citizens and the trials and tribulations that they've gone through. And the reason I'm using this to me is really the kind of microcosm of the entire party, because Clinton is a part of the cabal, if not a very high up, high level resource in the Obama, Holly Weirdo, Soros, DNC machine, if you will, which is supporting these riots, funding all this dissension, fomenting hate, division, et cetera, et cetera. You're backing up a socialist communist. They're backing up this guy.
How many more New Yorkers not charged? Do you believe in the First Amendment? Do you believe in the First Amendment, Tom Homan? How many more New Yorkers will the judge not target?
I've only given you a very small list of the things that this guy Mamdani stands for. I mean, he even deleted that post. I shared that. But this guy, he is literally a Bolshevik. And now you've got the top brass of the DNC machine now supporting this guy. They're essentially saying, screw you, America. We want communism. We want socialism. We want to destroy every American ideal that has ever come to pass, that our forefathers envisioned for our country. Also, there's even reports now, a real estate agent status and data report shows that the majority, one real estate agent even saying the majority of his transactions right now are coming from people canceling their purchases of properties, residential, commercial, etc., after he was announced to win the primary in the mayoral race. One real estate agent even saying that 85% of his transactions right now are of people moving out of New York to Florida and other areas. So that should tell you everything you need to know. Escape from New York, the John Carpenter film with Kurt Russell. It's happening in real time. Check out what Mayor Eric Adams has to say about this Zohran Mamdani guy. Watch this.
Democratic Socialist. He wants to freeze the rent. He wants city-run grocery stores, social workers to replace the police because that's going to help. He wants $60 billion of debt fund for affordable housing. He wants free buses, no cost for childcare, baby baskets for newborn, and a $30 minimum wage. How can someone vote for this?
He's a snake oil salesman. Mm-hmm. He will say and do anything to get elected. Think about this for a moment. He wants to raise 1%. He wants to raise tax on 1% of New York's high-income earners. As the mayor, you don't have the authority to do that. You know who has the authority to do that? An assemblyman, which he is. He wants to do free buses. He could have done it at assemblyman. He doesn't understand the power of government and how you must making sure you improve your economy, raise the standard of living. And this is what we've done in the city. And I'm looking forward to being on the campaign trail and showing New Yorkers we can't go backwards.
Yeah, there's no doubt that this guy's a snake oil salesman. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing. I mean, he's only been a citizen for 7 years. Well, now that's what makes it more shocking. You got people like Clinton, wow, supporting this guy. I mean, that's top brass right there. It's really, really shocking. Well, check this out. Representative Andy Ogles, who calls Zohran Little Muhammadan Mamdani, calls him an anti-Semite, socialist, communist who will destroy the great city of New York, and says he needs to be deported. He just formally asked Attorney General Pam Bondi to revoke Zohran Mamdani's citizenship and deport him back to Uganda. This is a guy, again, who openly supports terror organizations prior to becoming citizens, which actually makes him ineligible. Here's the actual letter right here. I just want to share this with you. So here you can see that this is the official letter here that was sent to Attorney General Pam Bondi. In that middle paragraph, I think is something really interesting, that in June 21st, Mamdani expressed open solidarity with individuals convicted of terrorism-related offenses. I mean, this guy is so bad, Boogie. In that last paragraph, Mamdani has recently refused opportunities to reject the pro-terrorist rallying cry to globalize the Intifada, which is essentially, saying end the Jews, essentially. And he then closes saying the naturalization process depends on the good faith disclosure of any affiliation with, support, or groups that threaten U.S. national security. Even Trump was calling for this guy to get out of here. So this has just been sent to Pam Bondi. I don't know if you're like me. and want to see a lot more perp walks, want to see a lot more people in handcuffs, want to see a lot more arrests, and have been sorely disappointed to see that. I understand the process is slow. I can only imagine what the bureaucratic red tape entails. But I feel like the amount of stuff that Trump has done in his first 6 months as president, you would think that there would at least be one arrest by now. Am I wrong? I hope I'm wrong. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt because I love this American first cabinet. I love this American first agenda. I love our American first president. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. So there is Anthony Bernal right there next to Dr. Jilski's. And apparently he denied the congressional showing up and being a witness and talking about, this guy has also been known to be one of the most powerful people during the vegetable in chief days. Some would say even the real president or the real person handling the auto pen. Well, he just now got subpoenaed. Here you see James Comer, by authority of the House of Representatives of the Congress of the United States, has demanded that Anthony Bernal is hereby commanded to appear before the Committee on an Oversight and Government Reform. So he has nowhere to run to, nowhere to hide. I know, sing the song. He has to now testify. You know, your boy Nez is going to keep you covered and up to date on everything. So make sure you sign up for our free newsletter, subscribe, and follow. Okay, in our next story, this is unbelievable and more proof. I love calling out the fake media. I don't know if you guys saw this Joe Rogan, Bernie Sanders thing that's going viral, where basically Bernie was trying to defend 60 Minutes and CBS and saying, well, you can't go after media. If you go after media, it's such a bad precedent, Joe. You can't do that. And Joe Rogan just basically said, no, they weren't doing investigative journalism. This wasn't even journalism. They literally edited out the answer to Kamala Harris. We all seen it, the CBS thing. Well, check this out. If you haven't heard that story, go check out that Joe Rogan episode. I mean, he slams Bernie Sanders. I'm not surprised. I knew Bernie was a fraud since day one. It's not surprising to me. Well, now we have ex-CBS reporter Liz Collins on Tucker Carlson just recently. She claims reporters were mandated from talking to white people during the George Floyd riots. She also has something to say about that Minnesota Democrat hitman's confession letter. Remember Vance Bolter, when he brutally unalived those congressmen and women, I forget their names, but check this out. This is her talking about CBS reporters were mandated from talking to white people during the George Floyd riots to Tucker Carlson. Check this out.
You know, I loved the news because I always felt like I'm just going to do whatever it takes to get back home, to be able to broadcast, my hometown and whatnot, as goofy as that sounds.
Doesn't sound goofy. It sounds great.
But
actually,
and then it happened and just kind of, but it's not even before George Floyd, you could see what the media was turning into. And that really bothered me on a moral and ethical level more than anything else. Into? Just not so much what we would tell the public anymore, but what we would not. How we would craft a story. I talk a lot about this in the book, but there were mandates after George Floyd that half of the people we interviewed had to be non-white or from a protected class. In the wake of
where did those mandates come from?
From what I understand, CBS News. You could not use the term riots at all in your reporting.
Actually?
Right. Just the way we would control the language and shape stories.
WCCO?
Correct.
Boy, I can't. When they do go bankrupt, will you text me just so I can celebrate? I really hope that they go under soon. That's so dishonest.
Yeah, and it hasn't. It's actually only gotten worse, I think.
Yeah, I would agree, which is why I watch them because I have to. It's my job. And again, I've called the mainstream corporate media the #1 propagandist machine. It's just as bad as Goebbels in Nazi Germany. I mean, this is the reason why we have demented, lunatic, TDS-infected citizens, family members, neighbors, community members. I mean, this No Kings protest, which was proven to be really a lot of it was fake. There was a protest in my own hometown. Appalling. My blood was boiling. This is all a product of the propagandist media. Tom Homan. I mean, there should be statues of Tom Homan in every city, especially at our capital. He can't even go home to his family because it's too unsafe. The amount of death threats, the amount of hate that he has received. It's all because of the mainstream media. ICE agents being attacked, a 600% increase in violent attacks, threats, etc., etc. Now you've got these ridiculous, unbelievably feckless, spineless, heartless, gutless, anti-American congressional elected leaders, which I don't even know if they're elected leaders or not. They probably aren't. Now calling for and introducing bills that they have to be unmasked, when the only reason they're masked, they're calling them terrorists, they're calling them Gestapo, they're calling them Nazis, when the only reason they're being masked is so that their families and the safety, they won't be jeopardized, their location, they're being doxxed every day. There's people out there with websites doxing ICE agents. Enemy is truly within. We won the battle on November 5th, 2024, but the war is far from over, guys. That's why I need you to make these videos go viral. We need to expose them. When I say expose, we need to educate our fellow citizens. It's tragic what's happening out there. Okay, our last story here. Caroline Leavitt just said that the intelligence report leaked to smear Trump's Iran strikes may have come from Congress, not just the intel community. Check this out.
Today, I know you're looking for this leaker. Is it your belief, I know you said earlier you're not sure if it's on Capitol Hill or at the Pentagon, but is it your belief that it might be in Capitol Hill? And how confident are you that you'll find this leaker?
Well, I'm not personally looking for the leaker. The FBI is looking for the leaker, so you'll have to ask them in the Department of Justice in terms of this investigation. But leaking top secret classified intelligence is a crime, and people need to be held accountable for that crime.
And can I just ask you about how you're going to be limiting intel to Congress? What would you say to lawmakers who say they have oversight privileges, they need this information?
This administration wants to ensure that classified intelligence is not ending up in irresponsible hands, and that people who have the privilege of viewing this top secret classified information are being responsible with it. And unfortunately, clearly, someone who had their hands on this, and it was a very few people, few number of people in our government who saw this report, that person was irresponsible with it, and we need to get to the bottom of it, and we need to strengthen that process to protect our national security and protect the American public.
They dox ICE agents. They promote Bolshevikism, socialism, communism. They let criminals off the hook. They want to defund the police. They want open borders. They want to fund forever wars. They want to introduce discriminatory racial practices. I call it the worst contagion, DEI woke ideologies. It's systemic. If there's anything like systemic racism, it's DEI. They never support Trump. They never support this administration. They never support Americans. They never support American citizens. We need to make common sense go viral. I'm begging you, please share this. Tap the thumbs up. It doesn't cost you a thing. You could even do it with your remote right here. The reason I say I'm begging, I'm not a beggar. I love my country. I have kids, but this country gave me everything. This country gave me everything. It gave us everything. We want to honor the people who came before us, not just our brave, amazing military, but our forefathers and all the people who sacrificed the vision, the American experiment in self-government. This is, some people are saying, there's a second, so this is the second Civil War. We have these enemies within who hate America. They want to replace us all. It's a fact. They're showing their true colors every single day. So yes, share this, spread this. It's important. You're doing an amazing patriotic thing by doing that. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Check out these videos coming up on the screen right here, just in case you missed them. Tap my face right here to subscribe and follow. It's absolutely free. And as always, may God bless you and may God bless the United States of America and all who defend her. We'll see you soon.